What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from Guinness, and they of course are out of Ireland, and this is their Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. So they are calling this one a beer with coffee and natural coffee flavors. It's in a Nitro can, it comes in at 4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. I don't know exactly how old this can is because it has a wonky can down date on the bottom that I couldn't figure out, but we're gonna say this is hopefully relatively fresh, but I don't know. Could be 3 months old, could be 6 months old, could be 9 months old. I really don't know. So anyway, hopefully it's fresh and we can get into it and not have to worry about the can down date. Anyway, I've been wanting to try this one for quite a while. I believe this is the latest addition to their portfolio. They released it, I believe, in early 2021, I think the spring around March, April, May. And my channel was on hiatus for the vast majority of 2021. So I saw this one recently. I've been eyeing it for a little while and I was like, I'm gonna grab it, and I did. So here we are. Now, if anybody out there knows, has any information, I don't know if the base of this one is just Guinness Draught and they just add cold brew coffee to it and natural coffee flavors, or if they like tweak the recipe. So if anybody knows, I'm assuming this is Guinness Draught, but this is 4% and Guinness Draught is 4.2, so who knows. Anyway, it has the widget and the whole nitro technology that they've trademarked. Now, I have the left-hand glass because I feel like Left-Hand Brewing Company is one of the best when it comes to nitro beers here in the US, but I don't know if this glass is gonna be big enough for this entire can, so we'll see. I love the noise this makes when you crack it open. Ready? Oh, spewing out a little bit. We're gonna give it the hard pour here. Now, like I said, hopefully, this all fits in there. Almost. We can get the rest in there? Oh yeah, and you hear the widget in there. The widget is loose. Anyway, we're gonna throw this over here and just watch this cascade in all its beauty. Wow. The one thing I love about Guinness, I don't care if it's Guinness Draught or this beer, or any Guinness, or any nitro beer in general, the cascade effect is fucking fantastic. I love it. I love it in all nitro beers. It's such a great thing to watch and look. I look forward to it, every time you pour one. But yeah, so that has a really deep, dark brown color. It's not straight on black. On camera, it's probably gonna look pitch black. It has about about 2.5, almost 3 finger of this straight up tan khaki colored head. Super creamy because it's nitro. It looks like put whipped cream up there, or like you made a hot chocolate. It looks fucking dynamite. This is an amazing looking beer. So anyway, let's get a nose on it. Oh, fucking, that smells awesome. That really smells awesome. That smells dynamite. That smells like a mocha cold brew coffee, but like a sweeter version where you like put sugar in it and some cream and whatnot. Maybe like I'd say mocha with like a hint of vanilla. Like that's what it smells like to me. There's a nice robust coffee flavor. There's a little bit of like a roasted malt character. But then there's a big chocolate sweetness, which is why I said mocha. I feel like the chocolate's actually maybe more of a predominant note than the coffee in this one, but the coffee's pretty big. This is, as far as like nitro beers go, nose-wise, it's up there. I don't know when you're gonna see this review, but like a week and a half ago, I reviewed Firestone Walker's Cinnamon Dolce Nitro Stout, and I said that was the best nose from a nitro beer I've ever had. This is up there with that. This smells fucking dynamite. Yeah, so mocha vibes all day on the nose. I mean, not much more to say. It's chocolate, it's coffee, a little bit of vanilla, some roasted malts. Smells awesome. It smells though like it's gonna be sweeter. And I'm not really getting a lot of like the base Guinness, but let's be honest, at least I'm gonna be honest here. Regular Guinness Draught, the nose usually isn't all that great anyway. It's the taste that I enjoy, and a lot of times with nitro beers, the taste is better than the nose, but I don't know if that's gonna be the case here because this nose is dynamite. Anyway, I want to get into it. Cheers, everyone. Okay, so still pretty solid. I knew the taste was going to let me down because that nose is just, there's no way the nose was going to carry over. And if it did, that'd be like one of the best nitro beer I ever had because the nose is fucking phenomenal. Biting this at 4%, just like nitro or just for like regular Guinness Draught for me. It's thin. This is like higher side of light body at best. It's 4%, so I anticipate it being a little bit watery, but the mouthfeel more than makes up with it, or makes up for it, because It's great. Any Nitro mouthfeel I've ever had has pretty much been fantastic. It's creamy. It's so smooth. It's just, it makes the beer in terms of the body and mouthfeel. It really does. The taste right up front, I'm hit with a nice blast of coffee flavor, but it doesn't have that like bitterness that regular coffee has. It has more of just a straight on coffee flavor, kind of like cold brew is. It doesn't have that like huge, big like bitterness that you get from coffee. So that hits me right up front. Cold brew coffee. Pass through the palate, a little bit of that chocolate, but it's more of like a dark chocolate or like a baker's chocolate. It's more of chocolate flavor without any kind of actually sweetness. And then there's a little bit of underlying roasted malt. On the back of the palate, there's a very slightly earthy kind of hop note. And I would say the coffee is pretty much present all over the palate, but you get that initial blast on the tip of the tongue, and then it mixes in and kind of gives you mocha vibes, but not as sweet. In the nose, it smells a lot sweeter than it tastes. It's not really sweet on the palate, but it's also not like overly bitter or anything. It's balanced, but it's just not, there's no huge, like a lot of times when I drink beers, nowadays, like I get the malt sweetness up front and on the back of the palate, you get the hop bitterness. Sometimes it balances out, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it leans too bitter or too sweet. In this case, there's not a ton of sweetness up front, but there's also not a ton of bitterness on the back end. It's just kind of, just there. It's balanced, but, it's just not a whole lot going on. I would say this leans a little bit more sweeter. We'll just say it leans a little bit sweet because there isn't any like substantial dryness or bitterness. So a little bit sweeter, but I kind of expected that. I really did. But this is really nice. It's not, I don't think it's going to blow anybody's mind, but I think when we start talking about the availability and the price point and everything, that's where I think this beer really stands on its own. I like this better than regular Guinness, without question. I think this is pretty nice. I really do. I don't know how fresh this is, but I would say the coffee's there. The coffee's definitely there. It is the predominant note. It is the main thing I notice on the palate. So if it's faded, I probably don't want to taste this super fresh then. If this is like a 6 or 9 month old can, the coffee's probably more pronounced up front. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I think this is pretty good overall though. 4%, can't even taste there's alcohol. One more sip and then we'll rate it. Yeah, so this is really solid. I enjoy it. Nothing going to blow you away, but I think the value of this one is kind of, again, separate itself from the pack. So Nitro Cold Brew Coffee from Guinness, I'm going to give that a low 3.75 out of 5 and go 3.7 out of 5. I think that's a fair score for this one. I think I give regular Guinness like a 3.25, somewhere around there. So I think this is substantially, to my palate, better than regular Guinness. All right, let me take that back. I don't know if it's substantially better. I think for what I would want out of a beer that's nitroed, I think I like the addition of the cold brew coffee, and I think I'm getting more chocolate out of this than I do regular Guinness, so I think my preference would be this over the base. Every single time, maybe not. If I don't want anything with coffee, then I'd probably go with the base Guinness, but I think it's pretty good. Here's where it shines out. Price and availability. Price point on this, I believe it was $8.99 a 4-pack in my neck of the woods. You're talking less than $2.50 for a can of something that's nitroed, that has cold brew coffee in it. It's 14.9 ounces. Like, that's a fucking really good deal. And I'm sure a lot of people out there could get this way cheaper. Maybe they have sales where you get, it for $6 or $7 a 4-pack. If that's the case, it's a great value. So even at the regular, I think the regular market price, or what Guinness recommends, I think is $9.99 4-pack. That's still solid. It really is. And availability, like I said, I believe they added this to their portfolio earlier this year. Well, early in 2021, because you'll probably see this in 2022. And which means that you should be able to see this pretty much everywhere, which availability for Guinness stuff is through the roof. So if you've had this one before, definitely let me know what you think about it, because I think this kind of improves the base Guinness draft, assuming this is the base Guinness draft, or some people say Guinness Draught. But this is, I think, a better beer for me personally. And that's why I gave it a 3.7. So again, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Like I said, if they're using the base Guinness Draft for this one, let me know as well. I was under the assumption that they did, but I don't know. Also, they have serving facts on the side here. For 12 ounces, this is 114 calories. So yeah, I mean, for a can of this, it's what, 140 calories or 135 calories? That's pretty fucking good, honestly. So anyway, I'm going to shut it down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.